Colin Cowherd had a Super Bowl special on. It was actually really good. He had Tom Brady on there. Really good, insightful stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Tom Brady's that good in the booth. But when Tom Brady's just sitting there talking about football, it's really good. It's like Bill Belichick talking about football. It's like, man, I learned so much. why can you have been this way in your press conferences, Bill? But it was good. But one of the things that Cowherd was saying is that he was comparing Patrick Mahomes' run of 5 Super Bowl appearances in 6 seasons, which is just crazy. He compared it to Tom Hanks' run from 1992 to 2002. And Hanks' run is crazy. Like, it started with A League of Your Own, Sleepless in Seattle, and Philadelphia, and it ended with Castaway, Catch Me If You Can, and Road to Perdition. It's a crazy run. And mixed up in those years, you got Mel, Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, Toy Story, The Green Mile, Apollo 13. that 10-year run is insane by Hanks. The only person I can think of is better is probably Tom Cruise. But other guys you can argue is Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, Will Smith, Eddie Murphy, Denzel. Like, they've had crazy runs too, but that 10-year run by Hanks is just insane. But 5 Super Bowl appearances in 6 years by Patrick Mahomes is just insane. And I feel like that we don't really respect Mahomes enough as one of the greatest QBs ever. And he's still kind of young. Like, he's not even 30 yet, I don't think. He's got a ways to go. 5 Super Bowls in 6 years. And the crazy thing, he's only won 2 MVPs. Like Hanks only, in that 10-year run, Hanks only got 2 Oscars. And Mahomes is the same way. He's only won 2 MVPs. Mahomes won in 2018 and he won in 2022. That's it. This recent year, when they went Josh Allen crazy, Mahomes wasn't even in the discussion. But I don't think Patrick cares at this point. He got his MVPs. He wants to win rings. That's what he wants to be judged by. Shout out to Josh Allen winning MVP. Personally, I would have wanted Saquon Barkley to win. I think the NFL has been screwing over different positions for a while, because it's almost like the MVP is just what they should just call the quarterback award, because they don't give it to defensive players. They don't give it to running backs. Like, Saquon Barkley had one of the greatest seasons ever for a running back. But it's like, and the Giants let him go. They let him go, and he went to Philadelphia, a rival team, and had one of the best years ever. Could have broke the rushing record, but he said, "Nah, I'm gonna rest." He could have broke that record and he rested. Dominated in the playoffs. But, they gave it to Josh Allen. Even though Lamar Jackson had better stats. I always say that Josh Allen's Super Bowl is Haley Steinfeld. Like, that's his win. But he got an MVP now, so congratulations to Josh Allen, I guess. But it's crazy that Mahomes isn't even in discussion anymore. When they had that list of people that's up for MVP, his face didn't even pop up. Like, eventually he put up Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield because they had great years. But man, Mahomes' name doesn't even come up. But I blame the media for this. I do. Because every year, regardless if Kansas City wins a championship or not, preseason, who do they talk about? The Dallas Cowboys. What's Dak Prescott going to do? What's Jerry Jones going to do? What about Micah Parsons? Nothing. They're not going to do nothing. They're going to lose like they always lose. They haven't won in almost 30 years. Yet they talk about them. And it's easy to say like Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless used to talk about them all the time on Undisputed. It's easy to say Skip, but Skip's done right now. Stephen A., they talk about them all the time on First Take too. The NFL shows on ESPN, they still talk about the Cowboys. Why? Dak Prescott isn't even close to being an MVP quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a far better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Yeah, they talk about Dak Prescott like he's been to 2 Super Bowls like Jalen Hurts. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. But man, it's crazy. It's crazy to me how they treat Kansas City. And I think Andy Reid kind of uses this as motivation. He probably says to them all the time, "We just won a Super Bowl again." But guess what? They're not talking about y'all. They're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. They're talking about the Houston Texans. They're talking about everybody else but us. But that's fine. We're going to go out there, wreck shop, do what we got to do. And when Dallas gets bounced out of the playoffs and not even make the playoffs, we'll be back in the Super Bowl. I'm sure Andy Reid does this every year because it's total disrespect. But I think it's good for them because there's no pressure. There's no pressure. Yeah, sports betting, all that probably have Kansas City at number 1. But when you look at the media, they don't even bring up Kansas City at all. It's crazy. They didn't do this to New England. When New England won, you heard about New England. You heard about Belichick. You heard about Brady. You heard about Giselle. Like you can go anywhere without hearing about New England Patriots, Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick. It's totally different. And maybe because the Chiefs really don't actively seek out that attention. See, I know you're going to say, well, Kev, like Mahomes and Kelce they're in commercials. They need to reach. See, I know, but when it comes to that, like Mahomes doesn't, I never hear Mahomes talk about his brand and all that stuff. The Mahomes plays football, he does commercials, and he's being a dad. Like he really don't, he's not trying to be a global icon. That dude just plays ball. Now, Travis Kelce, that's different. Like ever since this whole Taylor Swift thing happened, we see him and his brother Jason way too much. It wasn't like that. Like I like Travis. Like Travis, before the media knew who Travis Kelce was, he was that cool dude. He's like that cool white dude in the club. It's like, oh man, there's Travis. What's up, Travis? What you up to tonight? Like he was that dude. But that was before he got with Taylor. Then when he got with Taylor, everything all just went crazy, and I don't really care for them. It's like I'm not knocking it. It's just like I don't care that much. And now his brother is part of this now. They gave him that stupid show on ESPN, and that's horrible. It's over the exposure. And again, Kelce brothers from Cleveland, from Cleveland Heights, shout out to them. I got nothing against the Kelce brothers. It's just enough. Like I went to like Giant Eagle. That's a store around here. I walk in, there's a big ass box of Cheerios or whatever with the Kelce brothers face on it. I was like, okay, enough of you two already. But other than that, like the media really doesn't talk about Kansas City that much. I actually want Kansas City to lose. Because I think right now people are getting sick of them. And I think if Kansas City wins again, I think people are really going to start hating Kansas City. I actually want Philadelphia to win just from a revenge thing because they lost to Kansas City a couple of Super Bowls ago. It'd be nice to see Jalen Hurts win because I never understood why Jalen Hurts fell in the second round in the draft. Like Jalen Hurts was great in college. He should have been a first rounder. And when he went to Philadelphia, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to beat out Carson Wentz. Absolutely. He's a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. So him being in 2 Super Bowls already in his career doesn't surprise me at all. But I really want to see Saquon Barkley win. Like Saquon Barkley should have been the MVP of the league. But, he didn't win. And what did he do? He just killed in the playoffs. He killed in the playoffs. It'd be fantastic if Saquon Barkley gets like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns and he's a Super Bowl MVP. I want this to happen. A few years ago, they was really trying to get rid of the running back. Like the running back is irrelevant, right? Same thing with the tight end. They said, they'll say, oh, the tight end's irrelevant. Well, everybody got a great tight end now, or a very good tight end. I'm in Cleveland. Like we had Nick Chubb. I don't think he's going to be with the Browns next year because Nick got injured a couple of seasons ago by the Steelers. It sucked. So I don't think he's going to be with the Browns next year. But it was great to see running backs. And I want to see Saquon Barkley win an MVP. I want him to win the Super Bowl. But if the Chiefs win, man, I'm not going to hate it. It just proves how great Patrick Mahomes is again. And this is the crazy thing about the Chiefs is that they're not the juggernaut they were when they first started. When Tyreek Hill was there, man, they were unstoppable. I still don't know why Tyreek left. Okay, he got more money. He's in Miami. Now he's mad that he's in Miami. It's like, bro, you got the bag. You got it. Now you're mad? You had a chance, man, to win like a bunch of Super Bowls. Be her first ballot Hall of Famer. Still putting up numbers, but yeah, back in the day when Tyreek was there, man, they were unstoppable. And as the years went along, they're not as great as they were offensively. However, they do enough to win. And that's what makes the Chiefs different. They might not dominate you on the offense and the defense, but the next thing you know, you lost the game and you don't know why. The offense didn't kill you. The defense didn't kill you, but they were better than you. And that's the thing. One question, what do you think Andy Reid ranks in the top coaches of all time? Because he comes off the Bill Walsh tree. Because Andy Reid was part of Mark Holmgren's staff on Green Bay, and Mark Holmgren was under Bill Walsh. So that 49er offense is still running this league, man. Shout out to Bill Walsh. But what does Andy Reid rank? If Bill Belichick is number 1, where's Andy Reid? And as far as quarterbacks go, if Patrick Mahomes wins another MVP, wins another Super Bowl, where does he rank all time with the greatest quarterbacks of all time? What does he rank after Brady?